Welcome back students once again in my channel. Today we are going to understand some new concepts, or I would like to say that we are going to understand some important terms in this chapter, that is chapter 1, orienting yourself, the use of coordinates. So what new terms we are going to understand? So you can see this is the XY plane. So in this plane already we have understood the concept. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, y dash. So what new concepts we are going to understand? There are many concepts which no one will tell you, but here we are going to understand all the small concepts also, because these small concepts are very important. The teacher who will set the question paper MCQ, he will give from his own or from any other book, but based on these small concepts. So the first concept is what? Point on x-axis. So point on x-axis means what? Any point if you take it on the x-axis. For example, if you take a point on the x-axis, suppose here I am drawing one point. This is one point on the x-axis. So every point on the x-axis has zero perpendicular distance from the x-axis. Zero perpendicular distance from the x-axis means, suppose this is the point. So how you will measure zero perpendicular distance from the x-axis? So for that, suppose if this point is not there, if the point is here, or so if the point is here or if the point is here, then how you measure the perpendicular distance from the x-axis? You used to measure like this way. So if it is here, then you will measure it along the y-axis. So it is 1, this much is 1, and this much will be 3. But here, the point is here, not here, not here. So if this is the point, then the perpendicular distance will be 0. So when the perpendicular distance is 0, its ordinate is 0. Ordinate means the y coordinate. So x coordinate will have a value. X coordinate is how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So x coordinate will have a value, that is 5. And the y coordinate, or we say ordinate, and that is what? That is 0. So any point, the main thing is any point on this x-axis, any point lying on the x-axis, the ordinate value will be 0. If you take a point here, suppose if you take a point here, here the x coordinate will be -5, but the ordinate value will be 0. That is, the y coordinate value will be 0. So I hope you have understood the first concept. The second concept is point on y-axis. If any point is on the y-axis, then what will happen? Point on the y-axis. Let us put one point on the y-axis. Same concept, y-axis. So here the perpendicular distance, okay, the perpendicular distance from the y-axis will be 0. So if you want to measure the perpendicular distance, suppose the point is here, then how you will measure? You will measure like this way, perpendicular distance from y-axis. So the measurement is how much? 1. This is 1 unit. See here, 1. Because you have to measure it along the x-axis. So this is 1. If you take the point here, then the value will be what? Perpendicular distance will be 2. But the point, actual point is here, lying on the y-axis. So then the perpendicular distance from the y-axis will be what? Will be 0. Clear? So will be 0. So that only is written here. Every point on the y-axis has 0 perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So it's abscissa. Abscissa means the x coordinate. So for this point, the coordinates, first we write abscissa. So abscissa will be 0 and ordinate will have some value. So here the value of the ordinate will be what? 6. So 0, 6. If you want to put that any point, not here, here you want to put it. So abscissa value will be 0, but ordinate will be -5. So that is only told in this second concept. Clear? Then the most important thing. The third one, origin. Origin is what? Already in the first chapter I told you that this point where the x and y axis meet each other, this point is what? This is the origin. We used to say this one origin. So this is the origin. Clear? Now see, the origin has zero distance from both the axes. From x-axis also, from y-axis also, the perpendicular distance is 0. So if it is 0, the coordinates of the origin will be always 0, 0. So this O point, its coordinates will be 0, 0. So this is the third concept. So here, point on x-axis, you have to remember that any point on the x-axis, the ordinate or the y value will be always 0. And any point on the y-axis, what will be? The abscissa or the x coordinate value will be 0. But ordinate, there will be a value. And that is why point on x-axis, x, x-axis, x will have a value, but y will be 0. And point on y-axis, what? Now, x will be 0, but y will have a value. And the origin will be always 0, 0. So these are the three important concepts. Now let us come to the last two concepts which are as important as these three concepts. What are those? Now if the x coordinate of two or more points are same, that means if the x coordinate, the value is same in 2, 3 points. For example, let us take one example. Suppose if I take one point as P and one point as Q and one point as R. If I take 3 points, and in these 3 points I have to maintain what? X coordinate same. Suppose if I make the x coordinate 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. So if you see nicely, then you can see the x coordinate value, they are same. So that is only told here. If the x coordinate, if the value of the x coordinate of 2 or more points, so there are 2 or more points, I have taken 3 points, 2 or more, so I have taken 3 points, are same. So you can see they are same. Then what will happen? To understand then what will happen, let us first plot these points. So first one is 2, 1. So how we will plot? Let me come front. 2, 1. So this will be the point. Can you see? Then 2, 3. So 2 and 3 will be here. Somewhat here. Okay. And the next one is 2, 4. So 2 and then 4. Let me come in front and plot it. So like this way, see? 2, 1. 2, 3. 2, 4. Now if I join these 3 points, so let me join these 3 points. This is my scale, so don't laugh by seeing my scale, at least it is working. So I made this scale. So if you can see nicely, these 3 points are joined together. And when these 3 points are joined together, now if I give the name, this is P, 2, 1. This is Q, 2, 3. And this is R point. And this is 2, 4. So these 3 points are joined together. And when they are joined together, what is this line is? You can see this line is parallel to the y-axis. That only told. Then the line joining these points, that means these 3 points, is parallel to y-axis. So this is the second last concept you must know in today's class. Now, I hope you have understood this one. Now see the last concept. If the y coordinate, see nicely, if the y coordinate of 2 or more points are same. Now we will take that the y coordinate, we will keep it same, but the x coordinate can change. So now let us take first one example. Now let us take one point A, okay, then one point B, and then one point C. So 3 points, because 2 or more they have told. So I am taking 3 points. So here let me take it 2, and let me take here minus 3, then 3 minus 3, and then 4 minus 3. So if you see here nicely, all the 3 points, the ordinate value is same, that is y coordinate value is same. So if the y coordinate of 2 or more points are same, that only they are telling. So if it is same, then what is happening? So let us plot these points. A point is 2 comma minus 3, or 2 minus 3. So 2 and minus 3 will be here. Can you see? This will be 2 minus 3. Then 3 minus 3. 3. So we'll come here 3, then minus 3. Let me come in front to plot the point. 3 minus 3. And then 4 minus 3. So 4 and then minus 3. So these 3 points are plotted. Now let me write it. A 2 minus 3, B 3 minus 3, and C 4 minus 3. So all the 3 points I have plotted. Now if these 3 points, if I join it together, so let us join these 3 points together. So if I join these 3 points together, then what will happen? So let us see what is happening. You can also see nicely if I, now you can see I have joined these 3 points. So if you see, when these 3 points are joined, then this line is parallel to which axis? X-axis. So here is the concept. If here abscissa of 2 or more points, if the abscissa value is same, and all those points, if I join it, then what will happen? The line which is formed, it will be parallel to the y-axis. And if the ordinate of 2 or more than 2 points are same, and if we join the points, or if we join these points, then it will be parallel to the x-axis. So the last one is telling that then the line joining these points is parallel to the x-axis. So I hope today the terms, the new terms which I have taught you, it is clear to all of you who are watching the whole video without skipping. Because if you skip, then what will happen? You will find many doubts, okay, while you are solving the sum. So don't skip and listen to the class nicely, so that when we will be solving the exercise questions plus extra questions, then you will not face any doubts, any problem. That is my guarantee. So I hope today's class you have understood. And if you like this video, if you really like my teaching style, then do subscribe my channel and share this video with your friends. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.